ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It's the one and only Kharlie Brown. I hope everybody's doing good today. I hope everybody's finding a way to take care of themselves and take care of self. You as an individual, your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, making sure you're taking care of yourself in every way, which way you can, to make sure you're a better you. Because in the day and age that we live in today, there's a lot of people that are going through a lot of things mentally, and they're struggling with a lot of stuff. And there's a lot of people that don't feel whole. There's a lot of people that when they're alone, that's the worst place for them to be. I'm the type of person that when I'm alone, I'm fine. I'm okay. A lot of times I prefer to be alone. I can clear my mind, because a lot of times in the world I feel like there's a lot of noise. So when I'm alone, I feel better about getting certain things done and taking care of certain situations. But today I want to jump into a subject. I don't know how else to say it, but about a YouTuber that I was listening to, and he has a podcast called Enterprises in Cars. Excuse me, Enterprises in Cars. I believe the guy's name is Rich Cooper. I believe that's his name. I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I butcher his name. I'm gonna try to make sure in the description for this podcast that I put his correct information in there, so you guys can go and check it out. But I was listening to him just recently. I saw a little clip of a little YouTube that he was doing. A video that he put up. And then after seeing that clip, I ended up going and watching the entire YouTube on it. So the person in which that he was referring to in the topic he was talking about, after listening to it, he was talking about a porn star, and the porn star. Well, he wasn't talking about a porn star, but it just concerned a porn star at the time. So at that time, she has her own show, and the show is called, I believe, 3 Girls, 1 Kitchen. So I checked out the podcast for 3 Girls, 1 Kitchen too, so I can get better context of what she was trying to say, and so I can hear both sides of the story, basically. So while listening to her side and her point of view, and her like 2 other women as well. I'm not sure what the other 2 girls' names are. I'm not really even sure who she is, but she is a porn star. I don't know if she's a former one or if she's currently one, but whatever. But she is one. Okay, so I listened to both sides of the story, and matter of fact, here, let me just hit play so you can just see the little snip that I originally saw that led me to listen to both sides and points of view of the whole idea of trophy wives, and the idea of bad bitches and boss bitches. Anyway, so just listen to this little brief clip real quick. Okay, let me try to do this. My tech guy's not here, it's all me. So give me 1 second. And let's try this again. Here we go.
So it turns out Lana Rhoades is a porn star, and she's sitting here lecturing on what trophy wife training looks like with her 2 other friends.
So all in all, a trophy wife is a high-value woman in our eyes. She works on bettering herself every single day, whether it's physically, mentally, educating herself. She dresses for herself, not for other people. And she just loves herself and puts all her energy and effort into building herself.
She talks about what trophy wife training looks like from the perspective of hypergamy. She completely butchers what hypergamy is. They also talk through...
Okay, so before we continue with this, first let's touch base on the word that he just used there, hypergamy. The action of marrying or having a sexual relationship with a person of a superior sociological group or educational background. So basically marrying up. So apparently so when he listened to it, and he was like, well, the way her definition that she's giving about being a trophy wife and stuff like that, and coming from her standpoint of a I guess he didn't understand that, like, she's coming from her standpoint as where she is in her life currently as being, a porn star, and how she's looking at marriage herself. Now, that's something that's another reason why I wanted to do this podcast today anyway in the first place, so I can discuss that whole idea. But anyway, let's get back to the rest of the little clip, the little video.
Wrote this cast about this term bad bitch.
It's a real bad bitch. Oh God, she don't make
Bad bitch. Men don't care about being around women that have bad attitudes. They don't want to be around, miserable women that think that they're bad bitches. Why are they not showing, women how to make a sandwich? It's just them talking about her past in porn. Her giant notch camp, which she suspects guys should look away from. It's pretty gross if I'm being honest.
Okay, so I guess let's go to the beginning and break this down in steps. Okay, now before I even jump into this, I am not an expert on anything concerning this topic or whatever. I'm giving my point of view, and so you heard his side. So from his point of view and her point of view, and I'm right in the middle. I understand what both of them are saying, and I understand where both of them are going with what they're saying, but it's more so about society today. But we'll get into that. So let's go back to the beginning.
So it turns out Lana Rhoades is a porn star, and she's sitting here lecturing on what trophy wife training looks like. Okay, so here's the thing.
I guess the terminology lecturing is what first threw me off. It's like she's not like legit lecturing. She's literally telling you from her point of view. And these three women are literally just telling you from what they feel, just like he's doing too. But a lot of times I hear a lot of people that's like, when they're really educated and they come off as being a person of like they look down on people without actually knowing that they're looking down on people. Like, it just comes off like they're doing that, and they don't know that they're doing that, but they're doing it. So it's like a lot of times you'll meet somebody who's really smart, or let's say you meet a doctor or a scientist or whatever, and they're telling you to do something, and then you say, no, I don't want to do this because I want to do it this way, whatever. And they think that you're wrong, or they're thinking that they look down on you immediately, even though it's your life and it should be your ultimate decision, but they're mad at you because they told you to do something. But here's the thing, it's advice. That's how advice works. You give me advice, I can take it and do with it as I please. That's kind of how advice works. So a lot of people, they just kind of look down on people. A lot of really educated people do things like that, and I don't think they're doing it on purpose. I think that with all the knowledge and everything that they have, now again, this is my point of view, I do not think they're doing it on purpose. I think that a lot of times they're trying to be helpful, but when you don't take their advice, they get upset about it. But anyway, let's continue.
With her two other friends.
So all in all, a trophy wife is a high-value woman in our eyes. She works on bettering herself every single day, whether it's physically, mentally, educating herself. She dresses for herself, not for other people. And she just loves herself and puts all her energy and effort into building herself.
She talks about what trophy wife training looks like from the perspective of hypergamy. She completely butchers what hypergamy is. They also talk throughout this.
See, he just did it there. Like he said she completely butchered what hypergamy is. Now she probably doesn't really understand it. I don't even remember hearing the word beforehand, but I'm almost sure I've heard the word before, because like once I read the definition, I was like, oh yeah, I've heard that before. But I mean, like, oh, I know what that is. Not like oh I know this word is duh. But no, it's like he's right there. He's doing that. He's looking down on her because again, it's her point of view. Even if she didn't really understand the word, I think she's trying to just explain it from her point of view. But here's where the problem comes in, and where I think both of them are right and have good valid points. But I think that both of them that he just doesn't really understand where she's coming from, because again, it's just a point of view. Like, for example, when you look up trophy wife, a young, attractive wife, regarded as a status symbol for older man. Basically, an attractive woman who is married to an older, successful man. That's what they looked at as a term of trophy wife, which that's the definition for it that I found. But here's the problem with it: the word trophy itself. A cup or other object awarded as a prize for a victory or success. So my problem with the term trophy wife is the fact that I'm not looking at her as an individual, I'm looking at her as an object. And I think that's the problem that we have today. When people look at people and they're like, okay, well, we see this couple married and oh, that's his trophy wife. The minute you say that, you're degrading a woman. You're making it seem like she's an object, not an individual. And that's bad. That's horribly bad. Now, mind you, there are women in the world that, with the term gold digger, they do try to marry someone that they think that will financially take care of them, but they look at the person like, okay, well, this woman's a gold digger. This woman, by definition, is a person who is only with this guy because he has this money. So she's not with him because she loves him. She's not with him, because she thinks that she's gonna have a great relationship or whatever, or she thinks that by marrying this guy that is gonna produce these amazing children. No, she's with him because he has money and she's gonna finally be taken care of. Yes, there are women like that in this world, but the problem is there's also men out here who justify women, and they look at women and say, well, no, I want the woman with the best curves and the best this, and something physical is more sexual, as opposed to being, okay, her mind, her soul, who she is as a person. What will happen if I'm going to be on my deathbed when I leave this world? If she's still going to mourn for me, does she love me when I'm away from her? Can we come together as a unit and build something great? That's the problem that we have today, because you have to look back at the whole social norms of the whole idea. As a matter of fact, I'll get into that just after this part.
Cast about this term bad bitch.
A real bad bitch. Oh gosh, you don't
Man bitch. Men don't care about being around women that have bad attitudes. They don't want to be around, miserable women that think that they're bad bitches. Why are they not showing, women how to make a sandwich? It's just them talking about her past in porn, her giant notch count, which she suspects guys should look away from. It's pretty gross if I'm being honest.
All right, now here's the thing. So first, he started to talk about how the women were on because I listened to, again, both their YouTubes, and I understand where both of them are coming from. Now, he's coming from it from the male perspective, she's coming at it from a female's perspective, and that's why I'm saying I'm right there smack in the center. So I understand what they're saying when they say bad bitch. Okay, so there's women that go around like, oh, I'm a bad bitch. But you have to think about the term bitch itself. I don't really like using the word bitch. I don't like using the term bitch. I don't like calling women bitches. Definition of bitch: pregnant female dog. You're not a dog. You're not. So I don't understand why women prefer to call themselves that, and I don't understand why men prefer to call women bitches either. Like, why? Why do we even do it? Why does that terminology even still exist? I don't understand it. The same thing with the terminology boss bitch. Now I understand that women are using it like, I think so. Well, not I understand. I believe that women are using those terminologies to make themselves feel better, to boost up their to boost up their ego, basically, to prop them up, to lift them up. My thing is, there's women that are using the phrase bad bitch and boss bitch, but doing the opposite. Like, it's like, okay, so there's women that are like, oh, I'm a bad bitch, I'm a boss bitch, I'm in control of my life. But then all the steps that they take it's a total opposite. It's like, no, you're doing the total opposite of everything that you should, whether it be your relationships that you're doing in your life, and whether it be the business moves that you're making. You're not a bad bitch. Like, by the terminology you're using, you're not. You're saying it because I guess that's what you keep hearing. So now in your head you're thinking that that's what you are. You're not. Just be the individual that you are and say, I'm doing my best. I'm trying my best to be the best me I can be. Don't be a bad bitch. You don't have to be a bad bitch. And I understand what he's saying. Well, guys don't want bad bitches, and they don't want. But he's looking at it from a negative point of view. But a lot of women are looking at it from a positive point of view. So I understand where they're both are coming from. But being right smack in the center, if you feel in your head that you are a bad bitch and you're using that to prop yourself up and build yourself up and pull yourself up, by all means, my girl, do it. do it. But if you're in your life and you're saying that you're a boss bitch and you're doing the total opposite, then maybe you need to stop using that phrase. You need to stop using that. And there's a lot of men that like, for example, when he said, why are they talking about being a boss bitch? I mean, a bad bitch. And why is she not, like, why are they not talking about, making sandwiches and stuff like that? It's like, well, that's kind of chauvinist, but all right. But I understand what he's trying to say, okay? Why not teach other things, other skills? He should have said it way better. But, and I'm not talking down on him and I'm not talking down on them, but the show that they have is called 3 Girls in the Kitchen. So I realized it's not like 3 girls doing anything in the kitchen. They're just literally just sitting in the kitchen. And they're doing like a podcast or videos in the kitchen, which I'm like, okay, well, that's clever. But I'm like, maybe I should call it something else. Like, why not just 3 Girls Talk or something like that? I don't know. I'm not saying they should change the name. I'm just saying, like, it threw me off because I thought they were going to, like, talk about some subjects or whatever and then start whipping up some food, like Rachel Ray or something. Like, I didn't know what I was mentally expecting by watching the show, but whatever. Anyway, so he's saying that, why don't you show women how to make sandwiches and stuff? And that brings me to the point I'm about to make with this. There's men that are all around a total package. Okay, and what I mean by that is, like, they cook, they clean, they take care of the household. They take, if they have kids, they take care of their children and everything. They go to work and they take care of stuff at work or whatever, and they do everything that they got to do. So I guess they're a boss dude. Okay, I don't know what to call it. It's like total package, boss dude, whatever. Anyway, so they do all the stuff that they're supposed to do. Okay, to make their life function, they do everything they're supposed to do. Okay, there's women that do it all the time too. Okay, but what I'm saying is, in society today, in society, it was always the man goes to work and the woman stays at home and she brings up the children. It doesn't have to be that way. Okay, well, in the world we live in today, both men and women have to go to work because how the workforce and everything is today. And actually, if you look at it, there's way more women out there that are in the workforce that are just literally bosses. They're just boss bitches. I mean, they're out there doing what they got to do. They're knocking it out when it comes to graduation rates, when it comes to, like, being in the corporate world and all that other stuff. So women are out there, they're kicking butt. And I love that. It's great. They're out there kicking butt. Okay? And so now it's at the point now where there's a lot of guys who feel self-conscious about a lot of stuff. Because there's double standards when it comes to women and males. Okay? Now, I don't want to jump that far ahead, but I'm going to say this. When I'm just talking from my point of view, me being right here in the center, I'm in the gray area. Okay? Right here in the center. So, what I'm saying is, there's women that I've met, okay, and that I know, and maybe even women I don't even know, okay, but I know there's women out there who can't really cook and can't really clean, who can't really, take care of a household, and I'm not degrading them or putting them down. I'm just saying it's a fact. There's women out there that can't do it, okay, and there's also women who are just like looking at themselves as like women should be in control of their sexuality, yes, but there's also women out there who aren't in control of their sexuality, but everything else is just totally out of whack. And like I was saying before, there's women that say that they're bad bitches and they're boss bitches, but they're not. And that's what I'm talking about right now. They're saying one thing, but they're the total opposite. They're not. They're in their head, they're one thing, but they're not that thing. So when it comes to talking about being a trophy wife and her saying that, this woman should take care of herself, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, you should take care of yourself. That's something that shouldn't be said. Same thing with men. You should take care of yourself. That's something that should not have to be said. I shouldn't have to tell you as a man, hey, you need to take care of yourself. You need to, make yourself look more presentable when you go out into the world. I shouldn't have to tell you that, okay? Because when you're children, that stuff normally is taught to you. Normally, well, at least it should be taught to you, okay? to be a better part of society, to go out and function in the world. Okay? Because men and women come in different size, shapes, colors, creeds, everything. Everything's different. And the world is so beautiful because of it. So for a person to say, oh, I only want a trophy wife. Okay, cool. So you get a trophy wife. But then you get a trophy wife, but then your trophy wife can't cook, clean, and maintain a household. So then at that point, it's like, well, why did I marry this person? Okay, cool. Let's answer that question. Did you marry her for love? You love her. Okay, but what do you love about her? What did she do that made you want to marry her? Or were you just trying to take her up like, oh, I'm collecting items, so this is an item that I collected. So what I'm saying is, looking from the point of view of a woman, if a woman, like she was saying, if a woman is a trophy wife, she's all done up and she looks like, we'll just say it, a trophy. Okay? Then the man comes along and says, well, I want a trophy wife. Okay, so I take this person to be a trophy wife. Now, when on the video, the guy was talking about how looking past all the sexual partners that she had. Okay, because again, that's another double standard. If a woman has slept with 27 guys, she's looked at as a slut. A guy is, or he slept with 27 women, he's looked, oh man, he's a player or something like that, right? To me personally, I don't really care. It's not my thing to care. You slept with numerous people. Okay, why did you do it? What were you looking for? Were you looking for love? So you thought that in order to find love, you had to get naked and find the warmth of another person's body? Or were you just having sex with that person to the point that it wasn't love making? You weren't sharing a connection, that you were just basically using that woman to masturbate. Or the same thing with women. You were just using that guy to masturbate. That's the only thing you were using that person for. You were using that person to feel better in that moment in time. But you still felt the same way that you felt beforehand, afterhand. So really, to me, that's why I don't care how many sexual partners you had, because in the long run, it doesn't matter. What matters in the long run is the person that you are at the end of the day and the person you are later. Okay, so you meet me, and then you say, whether you're a male or a female, and then you say, okay, cool, I want to get married to you, I love you. Cool. Or you wanted to give up all the other sexual partners and stuff that you had. Yes, because I love you and only you. And when we get together as a unit, and we come together to become one. And by one, meaning that we are married, we are married. And in this relationship, we work together as a team. Okay? I'm not looking at you like you're an object. I'm just going to sit on a stand. That's what sitting there for people to come and admire. That's what trophies are, okay? You're not my trophy, all right? What you are, you're my wife, you're my friend, you're my woman, you're my lover, you're my soulmate, you're my spiritual guider. You are the person that I married because I love you and I want to share my life with you. I want to share moments with you. You don't share moments with a trophy. I want to share the world with you. I want to see you grow, and I want you to see me grow. We came in as individuals, and we are still individuals within this we. We are still individuals. We are still one and one. Okay, there's things that you love and things that I love. Things that you don't understand, but things that I do understand. And things that you understand that I don't. So we're going to come together and fix this and make this better together. That's what marriage is supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. I'm not supposed to look at you and say, oh, you're only a wife, so you stay in the house and I'm going to go work. You raised, the kid pooped, now you change the diaper. No, that's not how it works. It works as a team. We are a team. We take this team effort to build up this household, to make things better. There's things in this house that you cannot do that I can. There's things in this house that I can't do that you can. So hey, let's work together and put this together and make ourselves better. Same thing with raising the children. You take your half, I take my half, put it together to this kid, and look at this. Oh, Lord behold. Look at this. Now we got little Black Panther running around. Look at that. Look at little Black Panther right there. Oh, that's your half and my half. Look at that. Or you take your half and my half. Oh, look at this. Look at that. Oh, man, that's little Braveheart. Look at this right here. Oh, is that Superman? Little Superman. Now our kid and raised up and became a beautiful human being and a beautiful person that doesn't look at women as a male. He doesn't look at women as being a trophy. He doesn't. And then there's women that's like, no, don't look at me like I'm a trophy. I'm not a trophy. I'm your wife. I'm your I love you. You love me. Okay? So the thing is, she's talking about taking the word trophy wife, the definition, and creating this whole beautiful object, this whole beautiful thing in her head. No matter what, it's still an object. So we need to get away from that. Then he's upset about them using the word bad bitches like that. Well, we need to understand, like I said earlier, there's a lot of things that everybody is going through mentally. There's a lot of things that we are experiencing that I don't think other people on the outside understand. So when we look at certain situations, we just automatically judge the person within that situation. So instead of us stepping back and observing and then listening and saying, okay, well, why do you feel that way? Why is it this way? Because you have to realize that for a long time in our society, women were only looked at as this thing, and men were only looked at as this thing. So if the guy's not tough, he's a pussy. All these other things that throw off the whole axis of where we should be. And that's what I'm saying. I understand where she's coming from, and I understand where he's coming from. But the thing is, we need to totally get rid of the word trophy wife. It shouldn't exist at all. Marry her, the person. She has a name. Trina, Kim, Stephanie. You're marrying the person, not the idea of what she is as being a trophy to you. You didn't win her. What you did was you accepted her for who she is, and she accepted you. Because marriage is something where two people come together. You didn't just say, well, yes, I accept you and you're my wife now. No, that's not how it works. She has to say yes to you, and you got to say yes to her. You say yes to one another. That's how it works. If it doesn't, chances are that relationship probably not going to work. Because if she goes into it thinking that, hey, I'm a trophy wife, I don't have to take care of this household. He got the money to do that. Then you go into it thinking that, hey, she's my trophy wife. But then she's at home bored, doing absolutely nothing. At all. At all. Not what? Does she still love you? Or did she even love you in the first place? Does she resent you? Do you resent her? Matter of fact, are you one of those people that get a trophy wife and then cheat? What was the point of getting married in the first place then? Did you have a sex addiction? I mean, come on. What is the purpose? We need to get away from using all these labels that we keep labeling people with. We have to get away from that. And the label we're talking about today is trophy wife. We need to get away from that. Love me for who I am. I'm going to love you for who you are. Not for you being an object. You're not an object to me. You're not. You walk, you talk. You think, you hurt. You feel. You cry. You trip, you fall, you get up. You are a person. You are not a trophy. You're not something I can just hang around my neck. You're not. You have a beautiful soul, and that's why I married you. And that's why I'm with you. If you can pick up what I'm putting down, around the town, Kharlie Brown. Ta-ta.